Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Sabala Mandava. I was appointed to the Michigan Women's Commission in 2020 by Governor Whitmer. I am currently the chairwoman for this year for the commission for the year 2022 to 23. I am a physician, a radiologist. I specialize in breast imaging. I'm currently the vice chair for radiology at Henry Ford Health in Detroit. And so I divide my time. Half my time is done doing clinical work, interpreting mammograms, MRIs, doing procedures such as biopsies on women. And the other half is administrative duties with the Department of Radiology and the hospital system, Henry Ford Health in general. I'm also a wife and a mother of two children. I am a little bit unique in that I am a immigrant. I spent half of my life growing up in India when I was a child, and then moved here to the U.S. And so I'm an immigrant, and I'm also the child of immigrants. So I feel like it gives me a different perspective on things because I can identify with people who are newly immigrated here and people who have grown up here, and really identify with their issues and their problems and connect with them. So I really love this phrase, visible, authentic leadership, because if you break it down, so visible, women oftentimes in the workplace do multiple duties. They lead initiatives, they work in leadership positions, but often don't get acknowledged for all the things that they do. They effectively perform in leadership roles and do all the work, but they tend to be in the background. So being acknowledged and being recognized for their leadership potential is incredibly important. And so that's what being visible in the visible, authentic leadership part is. The second part is authentic. And so I'm in healthcare, and it is a industry that is where the workplace is heavily female oriented. However, if you look at all of the higher leadership positions, the vast majority still are occupied by men. And so, when women are trying to navigate this space and they're trying to move forward in their careers, oftentimes the only role models they have are men. And as we know, leadership styles between men and women oftentimes are very distinctly different. And women in the past have felt the need to emulate the leadership styles of the men that they see in these positions, even though they may do things, dramatically different. So we know now that there's so many different ways, diverse ways, different ways to be a leader. And so now more and more, women are able to lead and have leadership styles in the way that they do things, and they can be true to themselves. And to me, that's the authentic part of it. So I love the phrase together, visible, authentic leadership, because it shows that women can be leaders in the way that they want to be and be visible and be strong. So I would say three things. One, show up and be heard. And it seems like a very easy thing to do, but oftentimes in meetings and discussions, women will tend to step back and they will allow others to take the floor and give their opinions and give their ideas, even though they have extremely good ideas and ways to run things. So I would say, don't be afraid to have your voice heard, and don't be afraid to put yourself out there and give your ideas, because your opinions and your ideas are worth it. And women oftentimes will wait to be asked rather than offering their opinions. The second thing, and this I think many people will say, is find a mentor. And oftentimes it's easy to say, but not that easy to do. You want to find a mentor that can help you navigate your career, know your ambitions and goals, and help you work to getting to your goals. The one thing I would say is, for women, a mentor doesn't necessarily have to be a woman. As we know, a lot of the leadership roles are still populated by men. And so we need men to be our allies. Unfortunately, there are a great number of men who are very motivated, who are our allies, who want to see a decrease in the gender inequity in the workplace. So, don't try to limit yourself to women, because men can be very good allies and mentors to us as well. And the third thing I would say is give yourself some grace. Women oftentimes work full time in the workforce outside the home. And then they come back and they have a second role, as a homemaker, if you have children, as a mother, and all of the work that entails. And it's a lot. It's essentially two, often more than two full-time jobs. And women always feel like they have to do everything to the 100%, and it's not practical. So my mentor, who's a radiologist and who I was extremely fortunate to have found and who helped me navigate my career, she was a single mother for many years, and she always says, you can have everything, you just can't have it all at the same time. And I always try to remember that, because it's okay to not be the best at every single thing. So you may have to give up certain things at a certain time in your life. When your children are young, you may make different choices when they get older, and that's okay. So really give yourself some grace, and know that it's okay sometimes to not do everything that is on your list for that day. So I think the one thing we learned in the pandemic was that a disproportionate number of women had to leave the workforce to be able to take care of their children. And there was really a paucity of affordable and safe childcare even after we came out of the big center of the pandemic. And so with that in mind, the Women's Commission, along with great support from the governor, started this pilot project, which is now an actual full-fledged project called the Tri-Share Childcare Project, which allows for women and families to have affordable and safe childcare so that they can now move back into the workforce. And it got great initial results. It allowed for many families to be able to have safe and affordable childcare, and for women to go back to the workforce. So I think that's one of the big things, is that we need to have that. Every family should know that their child is safe while the parents are at work. And I think that's a big deficit in this country that we really should move towards trying to fill. But having said that's the number one thing, I would also say that during the pandemic, we learned that there are so many different ways to do jobs now. It doesn't have to be a 9 to 5, going to the office, staying in the office all day. We've found that there are so many more efficient ways and so many more flexible ways to work that allow women to not only be able to take care of their families, but also be able to work outside the home. So I would challenge all industries, all corporations, to really try to utilize their resources to find more flexible and creative ways to allow women to be able to do both things. And we've now seen that we can do that, and there's more opportunities to be able to do that. So I think not only childcare, but we really should start focusing on different ways that we can allow women to not only take care of their families, but also work outside the home.